The prank war. Benny grinned as he placed the rubber snake on the front porch, knowing it would send Mr. James into a panic as soon as he opened the door. Claire, his younger sister, tried to help, but her giggles nearly gave away the prank before it even started. The next morning, Mr. James found the snake and yelped, sending Zoe into a fit of laughter as she watched from the window. Determined to get back at Benny, Mr. James secretly set up a motion-activated air horn by Benny's garage door. When Benny opened the door, the loud blast startled him, causing him to jump back in surprise. Claire, hiding nearby, couldn't contain her laughter, which made Benny glare at her playfully. Zoe, not one to be outdone, decided to rig Benny's sprinkler system to turn on unexpectedly during his afternoon basketball game. As Benny dribbled, the sprinklers erupted, soaking him and sending him scrambling to turn them off. Benny, soaked but smiling, decided it was time to escalate the prank war to the next level. He snuck over to Mr. James's garden at night and replaced the tomatoes with plastic ones. The following morning, Mr. James was puzzled as he tried to cut into a tomato that wouldn't budge. Zoe caught on quickly and planned her next move, using her tech skills to control Benny's TV remotely. While Benny was watching his favorite show, the channels suddenly started switching on their own, confusing him. Claire, who was in on Zoe's prank, could hardly contain her excitement as Benny searched for the remote. Not one to give up, Benny placed a whoopee cushion on Mr. James's favorite lawn chair the next day. When Mr. James sat down with his morning coffee, the loud noise made him nearly spill his drink. Zoe, laughing with her dad, knew it was time to bring out the big guns for the next prank. She carefully set up a fake spider in Benny's bathroom, attaching it to a string for maximum effect. Benny screamed when he saw the spider drop down from the ceiling, and Claire almost fell from laughing. Meanwhile, Mr. James plotted to trick Benny with a remote-controlled lawnmower, setting it loose at dawn. Benny woke up to the sight of the lawnmower driving in circles, baffled by how it moved on its own. Claire cheered her brother on as he chased the rogue lawnmower around the yard, trying to figure out its secret. Zoe, watching the chaos, decided it was time to introduce a new element to the prank war: confetti bombs. She placed the confetti bombs inside Benny's shoes, knowing the surprise would be colorful and messy. Benny slipped his shoes on, only to be showered with confetti when he took his first step. Laughing at his predicament, Benny admitted Zoe's creativity was hard to beat but vowed to try. Benny then filled Mr. James's mailbox with ping-pong balls, which spilled out the moment he opened it. Mr. James chuckled at the sight, appreciating the harmless nature of Benny's latest prank. Zoe decided to retaliate by swapping out Benny's toothpaste with whipped cream. Benny squeezed the tube and got a mouthful of whipped cream instead of minty freshness. Claire, who had been watching, burst into laughter as Benny wiped the cream off his face. Benny and Zoe soon realized their pranks were becoming a neighborhood spectacle, attracting attention. Neighbors started placing bets on who would win the prank war, adding to the competitive spirit. Determined to keep the upper hand, Benny ordered a fake snake to scare Zoe when she opened her locker. Zoe's scream echoed through the neighborhood, making Benny feel like he had finally gotten a victory. However, Zoe wasn't done yet. She rigged Benny's car horn to blare every time he opened the door. Benny jumped as the horn blasted, drawing curious looks from neighbors passing by. Claire, delighted by the prank's success, cheered her brother on for thinking of the next move. Benny decided to bring in a classic, plastic wrap on the front door, a simple but effective prank. Mr. James walked straight into it, struggling to peel it off while Zoe watched with amusement. The prank war reached new heights as Zoe programmed Benny's phone to send random prank texts to his contacts. Benny's friends were confused by the strange messages, leaving Benny scrambling to explain. As the pranks continued, The neighborhood was buzzing with excitement, wondering what would happen next. Benny decided to end the prank war with a grand finale, planning to dye Mr. James's pool water bright green. Claire helped him sneak in at night, pouring the dye into the pool with great anticipation. The next morning, Mr. James was stunned to find his pool a vivid shade of green, but he couldn't help but laugh. Zoe, realizing the prank war had gone on long enough, came up with a final plan to end it on a high note. She convinced Benny to join forces with her, planning an epic prank on the entire neighborhood. They set up a malfunctioning sprinkler system that would soak the entire block when activated. When the sprinklers went off, neighbors were caught in a surprise downpour, laughing as they tried to dodge the water. Benny and Zoe revealed their collaboration, and everyone cheered, impressed by their teamwork. The prank war ended with a neighborhood barbecue, where everyone shared their favorite moments. Benny and Zoe, now allies, enjoyed the peace, knowing they had pulled off the ultimate prank. Claire, proud of her role in the pranks, basked in the attention from the amused neighbors. Mr. James, finally able to relax, joked that he was glad the prank war was over for good. The families laughed together, realizing the pranks had brought them closer despite the chaos. Benny and Zoe agreed to retire their pranking careers but couldn't resist planning one last surprise. As the barbecue wrapped up, a final burst of confetti exploded from under the picnic table, leaving everyone in stitches. The prank war ended with laughter and new friendships, as the families promised to remember this summer forever.